So, greetings, Lt Stitchie. We are really glad and lucky to meet you here in Paris. So,
Thank
first
you.
of all, how are you?
I'm excellent. Merci beaucoup.
Ah,
I'm learning a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything good? in
But everything
Paris?
is good.
Yeah.
Everything is in excellent order. I am, fully prepared for hard work, and that's what it has been,
Yeah.
and it will continue to be. And I'm quite comfortable knowing that, to get where you need to go, you're gonna have to put in the work.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm prepared to do, and that's what I'm doing, and will
Yeah.
continue to. And I have been doing that for a while, so it's not a strange territory for me.
Yeah, okay. Do you consider yourself like a legend of Jamaican and dancehall music?
Well, I would say that's what I am respected as a legend in dancehall, and I embrace it because it is so. I was the first person to take dancehall music to Europe, to hear in terms of getting what dancehall is and what dancehall was about, and that was way back in 1979 when I was signed to Atlantic Records, and I went to Holland and I was explaining, to the people at that time that dancehall was not a fad and that it was here to stay,
Yeah.
and explaining to them the power of the music and the expression of of what it represents. You know what I mean? And we are here years later,
Yeah.
still doing dancehall. I was the first dancehall artist to hit the Billboard chart, and also to sell gold
Yeah.
with LL Cool J on an album called 14 Shots to the Doom. I did a song with him called Straight from Queens with Soul Gold that was back in 1993, while I was with Atlantic Records. So there have been serious successes, where I am concerned. So I think the credit that they give me and the title that they have entrusted me with is in safe hands as a legend, and I continue to, take my bar to a higher level.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So you are the king of the fast style. Why on how did you develop this style?
Well, I just wanted. Well, first of all, I was very fascinated by two prominent Jamaican dancehall DJ, Brigadier Jerry
And Rocking Joe.
and Rankin Joe.
Yeah.
And both of them exhibited that kind of a DJ pattern in terms of the fast talking and how they express themselves. And I was really fascinated by both of them. And so I decided to develop my own style and my own style of speed. I'm naturally a person who speaks fast as a youth. You know what I mean? That's kind of the thing in our family. We talk fast. You know what I mean? Naturally, without even music added to it. We just speak fast. So when I was, realizing more and more that this was something unique, I started developing my own style, presenting it in that way. Very soon I hear other people, hooking on to it. Some would give the credit to where the origin comes from, but others just move in absolute ignorance of where it starts from and not knowing the real root of it.
Yeah.
But I see that as something that is unique and something that makes me, stand out, from everyone else.
Yeah.
In terms of how I delivered. This album has great representation of that masterclass. You know what I mean? And this is
The brand new album.
the brand new album.
Yeah.
So there are several different samples of the expression of the speed on this album.
Okay. And so your well-known gimmick, mad, was your trademark. Where did it come from?
I just decided to use one word and to see how fast
Okay.
I could say one word, as many times within quick succession. I did that and I did bad. That is just my unique thing, you know what I mean? And that was the way I came up with that stuff.
Yeah.
Just wanted to try how fast I could say one word, And then I did also laba laba, laba laba laba, did that kind of stuff, and that was just all of these stuff are my original ideas, you know what I mean? But I hear people doing that now.
With different gimmicks and style. Yeah. Okay.
But it's always a good thing to know that Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So, you know, I'm not offended by it. Not
Okay.
at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so, what are your biggest musical influences? Your favorite artists, maybe? You are talking about Ranking Joe and Brigadier Jerry,
Dennis Brown. That's
Dennis
right.
Brown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis
You're
Brown.
beginning as a singer, maybe.
Yeah, I started singing like
Yeah.
Dennis Brown. You know, very fascinated with him. And then, you know, way back, I got the opportunity to be on tour with him. You know, to tour with Dennis Brown and Freddie McGregor and Light Parks and We the People Band, and we were on the road for maybe about 2 months doing the US. You know, so I was very excited because there were times when Dennis did ask me, you know, to sing a song, one of his songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the tour and different at some of the events that we have had. You know what I mean? And that was exciting to hear my mentor, you know, as Dennis Brown,
Yeah.
asking me to do that.
Great.
So.
And who found your nickname, the Governor? Because I know you have a lot of name artists, and can you tell me more about this?
Well, it was a crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, I was called. Well, let me take it from the beginning.
You okay?
I was first known as Ranking Citrus, but Ranking Noseworthy before. Ranking Noseworthy from a character in a radio serial, a story on radio,
Okay.
and I was fascinated by the character Noseworthy, and so I took on myself Ranking Noseworthy. You know, from the angle of Ranking Joe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As the
Yeah.
Ranking. And then it changed thereafter, you know, to Citrus, because I'm a lover of citrus. And so they started calling me Citrus. Then they shortened it and called me Stitchie. So it's a short form of Citrus.
Okay.
And then one of the printer made a mistake on one of my first release, and he placed the name Stitchie instead of Stitchie. And so I became popular as Stitchie. And so I just embraced it.
Okay.
The crowd promoted me from different DJ challenges and clashes that I've been in. I've never lost a clash, not once. And they promoted me from a private to a corporal to a sergeant to a lieutenant. And so hence the name Lieutenant Stitchie.
Yeah.
Where the governor comes from is because it took place during the era of Stereo One, where Stereo One sound system, whenever losing a clash, we govern the entire world. So they call me the governor of the dancehall, you know, which they see far greater than even the king of the dancehall.
Yeah.
This is the man who govern the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I embraced that, and so everybody called me Lieutenant Stitchie, the governor. And so it is so.
Yeah.
The governor.
We agree with this.
Yeah. All right.
And so you record for many top producers in Jamaica. What has been the impact of your collaboration with King Jammy's, Steely and Clevie, or Donovan Germain for the rest of your career?
Okay. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. First, credit must be given and can't be held back in any way, shape, or form about King Jammy's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your first record.
Not my first record,
Not-
but the first person who took me on the global scene with his production. You know, credit must be given to you. He was not the first person who produced me, though.
Okay.
The first person who produced me was a guy called Neville Williams. We would call him the Soji from Spanish Town. He recorded my first song called If I Don't Care.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was the one who started me in the studio. You know, so I must credit him. But in terms of getting on the map, Steely was the person who introduced me to Jammy's.
Okay.
Yeah, because he rated me as the greatest DJ ever. And so he was bragging to Jammy's about how good I was. And at that time I was in college, you know, because I attended Teachers College, where I was studying to be a teacher studied and graduated as a teacher of physical education and biology. And so Steely was bragging about me. And he was saying to them that, listen, you guys haven't heard about this guy as yet because he's in college now. You know, that's the only reason why you haven't heard about it.
Oh, when you are a teacher, you don't.
No, I was in college. No, I wasn't a teacher then. I was in college studying.
Oh, okay, to be teacher.
To be a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he was saying to them that the only reason why they have not heard of me is because I choose to be in college to finish my education before getting into the dance hall full time. But I've always been in the dance hall. I've never been out of the dance hall, even to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and he introduced me to Jammies, and Jammies, he was putting up a challenge to the other DJs, you know, that they were not as good as I am. And Jammies was challenging that. And Steely said, hey, listen, no, you're going to prove it.
Okay.
So Steely went for, came for me one day while I was in college, you know, and asked me to travel with him to Kingston during the day, you know, for a clash to show my skills. He wanted to show off my skills. And so we went by Jammies, you know, strung up the sound system and gave me the microphone. Well, the other DJs got the microphone as well.
Okay.
And so they went and went ahead. And then when I got the microphone, the whole atmosphere changed. You know what I mean? The whole atmosphere changed. And, you know, and Steely get excited. You know, I don't know if you know him, but Steely is a very high energy person. And when he believes in something, you can't convince him otherwise. It's just not possible.
Okay.
And if Steely say Lt Stitchie, the governor, is the greatest, then it is so. You can't debate that. You know, you can't find no kind of a, you know, argument to refute that. And so he was excited when I started DJing, and the whole place get, you know, excited. You know, and so we rode out, and he brought me back. You know, and Janice was willing to record me there. So he recorded a song for me. The first song we did was a song called Obe Working, and then it led, you know, a couple months after to Wear Your Size. And Wear Your Size was my first big tune, first #1 song. It was the song that brought me on the scene. Of course, before Wear Your Size, I was recording with Stereo One label, a label that I formed, you know, from the Stereo One sound system. And I had this concept in mind to start our own label and to push that going forward. And so I'd done songs like Laba Laba, Story Time, you know, with Stereo One label before doing Wear Your Size. But Wear Your Size was the song that brought me internationally, brought me on the world map. You know what I mean? So credit must be given to King Jamis for that. And then he, you know, released several other singles after that as follow-up, which supported Wear Your Size and the flow that was happening at the time where my career was concerned. And then he was the person who put out my first album. But the album got two names. In one market it was called Wear Your Size, in another market it was called Great Ambition.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it was the thing that launched me out internationally. So, you know, when all is said and done, you know, I cannot speak without giving credit to Lloyd James, King Janis. You know what I mean? He's truly king. And then I did another album with him as well, Gangsta, and gave him several other #1 songs from that album as well, entitled the single Gangsta. You know what I mean? Fresh, sexy chicken, and you know, and other hits on the album, and that, you know, further expanded me out. You know what I mean? So I must give credit to King Jamis. So, but you ask about Jamis, you ask about Donovan Jermaine as well, and Jermaine is another great producer. You know, and we have a great relationship. You know, he wasn't responsible for expanding me out as Jamis did, but certainly when I left Atlantic Records and started doing my own thing, he was very instrumental in providing me, you know, the rhythms and the productions and the promotions, you know, in getting the singles out there, you know, that helped strengthen and build my career. You know, so how I would put it, Manfred, is that I am the sum total of the experiences that I've had. You know what I mean? And those were just two of the producers that you made, and of course there were other producers, like Patrick Roberts from Shocking Vibes. He was the person who, after I left Atlantic Records, I recorded a song with him called Burn It Down, which went to #1 as well. You know what I mean? And in 1 year, I got 14 #1 songs, on the chart, and that has never been done before, nor after.
Okay.
Yeah, hence the governor. So it is a situation that I'm very pleased with. You know what I mean? Because it is not an easy thing to pen so many songs when there are so many competitions and good artists out there, and to reach that kind of a success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not being on a major label.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those were some of the persons who helped, make me into who I am. Of course, there Bobby Digital, because Bobby Digital was the person who recorded Wear Your Size for Jammies. At that time, he was the engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we did the recording there, and there was an error on it, and he wanted to correct it. And I just came from school just in time while he was around the board to make the correction. You know what I mean? And Wear Your Size turned to be a big hit. But I did some recordings with Bobby Digital on his Digital B label, which several of them went to #1 as well. And so, there are a lot of people who I am grateful to have known and to have met and to have worked with, who helped make me into who I am today. And I'm still open, because music is something that I love, and it's something that I will continue to do until the Lord comes.
And today with a man called Manu Digital, maybe.
That's another genius now.
Yeah.
No, you're coming fast forward. You're pressing the gas. I was giving you a bit of history, but no, you're pressing the gas. No, Manu is on another level, and certainly a new sensation, extremely gifted. And one of the things that I admire about gifted people, like Manu, is very humble, and it is very easy to work with. He and I have good communication skills.
Okay.
We don't even need to talk to understand each other.
Nice.
We have that kind of look, that kind of a camaraderie, that is really special. And he was very instrumental in producing this album here, Masterclass.
Yeah.
And
Masterclass.
Yeah. Masterclass, Manu's handiwork. And we even take it on a different level that I've never taken it with any other producer before. We're doing something new now, where we are. Normally, you would have a singer maybe combining with a DJ, or you have two singers going together. But you never have a musician and an artist going together to make a team to perform live. So that we're doing that now, Manu and myself.
Yeah.
We've teamed up, and we have been touring and presenting the music in that format. And let me tell you, it's to say fire is an understatement.
Okay.
The thing is sizzling hot. You know what I mean? And we have that kind of an energy on stage that is unspeakable.
Yeah. And tomorrow you are on the road for the festival of the summer.
Right.
With Manu,
Yeah, so it's very infectious. You know what I mean? And we have been receiving tremendous response from the promoters and also from the audience themselves. You know what I mean? Who are saying, wow, this thing is fresh and brand new. Yeah. They've never seen it before, because we're presenting ourselves as an artist and this one-man band where it's not just the rhythm where the DJ would play the rhythm. He's playing the rhythm, but actually playing live on stage as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just a situation where it's just new. It's just something fresh and new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can break the rhythm when we want, and we can just work just with the keyboard, a cappella, and the lyrics flow, and whichever thing we want, whichever way we want to take it, whichever energy we want to demonstrate, it's done. Yeah. So this is a new thing that we're doing. So we're sharpening our skill, and as we play together, we're becoming, more and more lethal. It's easier for promoters because they get, two class act in one package. So to put it that way, and the fans that support Manu and support me, they are coming to see both, gifted persons on stage presenting the thing, rich, not short-changing, no problem, everything does go easy. Boom, 1, 2. And it's good that we are on the same label as well too, with X-Ray.
X-Ray, yes.
X-Ray is a very good company.
Okay.
They're very easy to work with, very supportive, and they're very professional at what they do. You know what I mean? So it is just, to me, 1, 2, 3. To even think of another way would be ridiculous.
Okay. And so you have been in the industry for a long time. So
yeah.
And what is your opinion about the new reggae music and the evolution of the Jamaican music, actually?
Well, I am very pleased with what is happening in reggae. You know what I mean? It keeps growing.
Okay.
On a level after level, we see new acts with substance. Coming up and presenting, presenting their stuff, for the betterment of the industry. You know what I mean? So yes, we might look at some points and we might say, well, there are things that we might need to change, but that will always be, and I don't see it as a factor that militates against the growth of the music. You know what I mean? We have very creative artists, in various different fields, in various different styles, who are presenting the craft at the highest level. And sometimes we have to learn. Some of us who have known reggae for the longest while, have to know that there will always be changes, you know what I mean? And be open to changes, because thing has to change in order. Metamorphosis must take place. It's life. You know what I mean? We have to change and grow. But sometimes it's not the easiest thing to accept changes. You know what I mean? Sometimes we like to stick with just the one thing and not open our thoughts, our imaginations to growth. This is something that I embrace.
Okay,
nice.
nice.
This is something that I support. What I cannot ignore though is some of the kind of a derogatory, that kind of a presentation that is negative, going against the music, because to not speak of it would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? It do exist, but I wouldn't see it as in the majority. You know what I mean? And so therefore, I would major the minor.
Okay. And so you're not nostalgic about the spirit of the 80s and 90s of dancehall?
Yeah. So I didn't get that question.
You are not nostalgic?
Right.
About the spirit of the glorious 80s and 90s of dancehall music?
No, I embrace that because it's rich, but it's even richer now because, there are several persons like myself who function in that kind of a growth period, and still you have to change to make sure that you meet the demands of today. I don't believe that it is enough to be relevant to the time. I don't think that is enough. For me, I am revolutionary to the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where the real change is. When you can, use the things that you have learned then, amalgamate it with the new things now and create even a greater thing.
Yeah.
That's where, my mindset is at. That is where to just live in one section and not grow. To me, as an artist, that would be claustrophobic. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think we need to just open our minds, and let the music, let the creativity, the spirit of creativity just flow. Because we're all gifted individuals, and there's a market for everyone. Just don't even worry yourself about other people's movement. Just concentrate in your lane. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Just concentrate in my lane and in my space, and with the creativity that I have been so blessed with by Yahshua. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to use that gifting, to serve its purpose, to be a blessing and bring a message of peace, love, and righteousness globally.
Yeah.
Not to be biased or prejudiced to anyone in any way, shape, or form. but to use the music, to share this message of love and peace and righteousness. So that's how I see it. So reggae music to me is even getting bigger. See, recently we have been, embraced by even the international body, of preserving reggae. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's a massive thing. So I see reggae growing and growing and growing too.
Everywhere.
So it's a good thing. And if you're not yet a part of it, you need to be real to be a part of it. Yeah, because it's here to stay.
Okay, nice. We are good with this. And so, would you say that music is your main occupation? I know you have also published a book. You were even the first dance solative to have done that. Maybe it's true?
Yes, it is so.
Oh.
Books have been written about others, and people have written books for them. But I actually sat down and wrote lines upon stanzas, upon paragraphs, upon chapters, into a book. The book is entitled The Power of Determination.
Okay. Is it an autobiography?
Yes, it is my autobiography.
Okay.
And it is, expressing where I'm coming from and the challenges that I have growing up as a product of the ghetto, and that, poverty is not an excuse for failure, but it can be a prerequisite for success, depending on the perspective that you choose to view it as. People will express that. I've heard people say that the glass is either half empty or half full. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? Both of them are wrong. You know what I mean? The glass is neither half empty or half full. It is full, but it all depends on which part they choose to look at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some look and look at the liquid in the glass, but some look at the air. But it is both full with liquid and air. So I choose to look at it that way. And I choose to use my experience to bring that kind of a sensitivity to those who might be looking at it in a different light, and to give them another perspective, to maybe just be yourself, achieve what you can. So that is one of my motivation for writing the book.
Okay.
When I was going to school, I wasn't able to afford textbook. So I got my last textbook when I was in grade 3 in the primary school. That was maybe about 9 or thereabouts. And so I never, because we just couldn't afford it. So what I had to do was to go into the garbage bin where the richer children would throw away their books, and to make books out of the ones that they would have discarded, and the leaves and the pages. Yeah. And when it came to exam, I used to maybe borrow books from other students who could afford it, but everybody wanted their books when it come to exam. So I was left without a book. I used to write some of the notes in my exercise book, but what works perfectly for me was I decided to use the skill that God has given me to write songs out of the chapters of these books.
Okay.
So when I was in examination, people saw me singing. My friends thought I had it easy because I was singing, and the invigilators thought that I was talking, and there was supposed to be no talking in the exams. I wasn't doing either. Yeah, I was basically just memorizing the chapters that I had studied.
In singing.
In singing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it would reap me great benefits in terms of passing my exams and getting A's and that kind of stuff. So music worked for me. You know what I mean? So so that is why I decided to write the book, to share that kind of experience. So people can be motivated, to know that there is no such thing as failure. It is just that you're learning another way which it can't happen.
True.
You're really feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I tried that, and that's why I wrote a book, The Power of Determination. But this is expressed not only on a platform of literature, but also in forms of music. As I said, masterclass album. That's what it is. Lessons of life musically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we're still teaching because the platform is the globe. We have a larger classroom now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have more students.
Yeah.
But we are also equipped with the tools, you know, to reach them. You know, and with the message to reach them. We just have to ensure that the message, you know, will expand their thinking, you know, and lift them to a higher level as individuals. And that's the aim and the objective. You know what I mean? We can't only present it, but we can't force anybody to embrace it. But the motive and the agenda is to spread the message of love, peace, and righteousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with humor too.
Yeah.
Like we can find it in your lyrics and in your brand new video clip. Lot of humor and spirituality.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
It's different as we can say and so in a dancehall clip and things like that. Or a lot of humor and things. I remember the clip "Angels Surround Me." Maybe.
Yeah.
Great clip.
Yeah.
So fresh.
It's very, very key because it is, the spirituality is greater than the natural. Because we're a spiritual being. We're limited with the natural eyes that with the eyes can see. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I can look at you and not necessarily know who you are, assume that you're someone else. You know, but if I'm connected with your spirit in terms of what is really in you, you know, because the eyes are the window to the soul. You know, so you can we speak through what we call body language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing is being said to you about how the person respond and relate to you. It tells you a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we are spiritual beings in just fleshly garments, and that is why there is so much imperfection. But if we look beyond that, you know, then we'll understand that no, we're all in a process. The process of growth. You know, we're all in a process, and so therefore it doesn't put us in a position to make any definitive statement of anyone, you know, and conclusive as well, because it's still a process.
Yeah.
Still going through the process. We are still under the process of construction. You know what I mean? And you know, and so therefore, if we understand that about ourselves, you know, which I do understand about myself, that I am still growing, you know,
Okay.
then that's the kind of a vision that I see people on, that they're just in their process. You know, they're under construction, and some part of the structure is still being worked on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so angels protect us. Yeah, is the evidence that it's no, there is a higher force than who we are. You know, and if we rid ourselves of that prejudice because of one's spirituality or one's belief, you know, then we achieve a lot greater things, you know, because if we so believe that God does everything, then we should know that we can't interfere in his business. We are just servants of the Lord, you know, and find out what our purpose and our motive is, and then pursue that with vigor and passion and understanding that we need to, you know, embrace each other regardless of our faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we ultimately going to have
And it's a new short message.
Yeah, very short message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Maybe one question about this brand new project. Can you tell us some word about this brand new project?
Well, this
with
is
a lot of featuring.
well, this album here, Masterclass in itself is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's the best work that I've ever done since I'm in the industry, and this is actually my 22nd album. Yeah. And so this is a milestone in itself.
Yeah.
So it took me 6 years to produce this, because the aim and the objective was to dot every I and cross every T so that the objective is reached.
Okay.
And the objective is people, because I just love people. Doesn't matter who you are, your color, your class, your creed, your nationality, it doesn't matter. Because I believe that's the greatest gift that was given to man, people. And so that was the objective. This album here, I decided to use an artist as opposed to a photographer to have the album cover done, and the back for that matter as well. So the artist was Andy Ballantyne. He is one of the greatest artists in the world.
Okay.
He's from Spanish Town, where I am from too.
Oh,
in Jamaica.
It's a Jamaican artist.
Yes, a Jamaican, a visual artist.
Okay.
I never knew that at the time, but that's how it was divinely set up, and he was the person who did it. If you notice that my eyes are closed,
Yeah.
on it, it's not coincidental. It was deliberate, because the message that is on it is blind. Yeah, it is not dedicated to any particular race or gender. Yeah, or of your faith or of your religiosity. It is a message for all. Yeah, and the message that was given to God was the green on it. It is to bring life. That is why it looks green, because green represents fruitfulness, and so there must be changes of fruitfulness in your life. You know what I mean? And that's the only way that you will have offspring, if there is prolific growth of any seed that is planted. So the seed that we plant is the word. That's why we have the microphone here. So it is the word of life, the word of truth, and the word is Yahshua Mashiach. So we share that kind of a message of love right across the globe. Yeah. So this is global. So we are going into these are just the buildings and the cities and the places that we go. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
On tour.
Actually,
you're doing that right now.
Yeah.
So we're all over Europe. We're in France, we're in Belgium, we're in Germany, we're in Italy, and we're heading to Spain. It's a global thing. Yeah. So not just for Europe, but globally. And we're going into the cities and we're sharing this message, for those who need to hear the message.
Yeah.
It's open. It's not mandatory, but it is offered. And whoever wants to drink, are welcome.
And so you have a lot of big featuring here.
Yeah. And so I'm just telling you about the artwork. Then we have features on the album.
Yeah.
Agent Sasko.
Yeah.
Ricky Stereo. That is from Stereo One Sound System. Yeah. Really a bad, talented artist. And he's working on his project as well. And so he made the sacrifice to put it on pause to come and help me with mine.
Nice.
So Ricky Stereo, maximum love to you, maximum respect, and his album is coming real big. His album name is actually Ignite. Yeah, so look out for that.
Yeah,
it's a big thing. Then Lucky D, another good friend of mine.
Okay.
And he did an excellent delivery. We have been working together even before this, and we continue to keep the relationship.
Okay.
And there's one thing I needed to say about Sasko, Agent Sasko, was that he has always been an admirer of me from he was about 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So for him to be able to do the song with me, it's a pleasure for both of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then there was Million Styles. Excellent delivery. Just a superb professional, perfectionist to the T like myself.
Yeah.
in terms of how we present it, we craft. You know what I mean? And then Phantom Moja. Yeah, excellent artist. You know what I mean? Full of style and delivery, and has an excellent voice.
Yeah.
And so it was just a pleasure to have those 5 representing, and accepting the invitation that I've extended to them to be a part of this project.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for the support that they have given me. And like I said, it couldn't be without a better label to deal with it. Manu Digital is excellent. He did most of the production with the rhythms on it. Craig McDonald, very much key to it. And of course Mr. P.
Yeah.
And there are other producers as well that were a part of it. We have Irites, who was very much instrumental in helping to put it together. And I'm grateful to everyone who supported and sold into making this project a reality.
Okay.
So I can't be credited with it alone. It's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're doing all that we can to
well done
to get it
for
out
this.
there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
And so the title of this project,
Yes.
I saw that it could be called Salt and Light, maybe,
Yeah.
and it changed when you meet David Rodigan.
Yeah.
It's
No, it wasn't Salt and Light, but it was another project that I was working on.
with Flash It?
Yeah. No.
No.
No. I was looking at several different names of possibility of calling it different names.
Okay.
Yeah. That is that project that is still in the oven.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is not yet out.
Okay.
But we're still working on that. Maybe it could be the next project, because what I really wanted to do was to release 2 albums at the same time. Because what happened was that last year, between last year and this year, I'm the only and the first dancehall artist to ever receive 2 legendary awards in 2 different genres of music.
In gospel and reggae?
In gospel and reggae.
Okay.
Yeah. So in March of 2018, at the IRAMA Award, International Reggae and World Music Award, I received the legendary award, Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah. For being in the business, maybe it was 35 years or more, since I've been recording professionally. And then this year, March 18th, I received a legendary status award in gospel, by the Sterling Awards.
Okay.
Yeah. So within 1 year, I received two major awards.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put out 2 albums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one would have put a lot of challenge to the other, because they are very good and I'm passionate about both of them. So I was talking to David about it, and so David Radigan is a good friend of mine, and he was the genius who decided, listen, Stitchie, he gave me a list of names and he said, no, this album should name Masterclass,
Okay, that's the story.
Yeah, so David is the genius behind it. Must be credited for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, one last question for the listener of Vibes.com radio show. What tune are you currently listening to? Maybe here in Paris or for the summer?
No, well, right now I'm concentrating on Masterclass.
Okay.
I'm listening Masterclass, and I'm listening another song on Manu Digital album.
Okay.
It's the album called Bass Attack.
Winner.
Winner, the one that I did with Derek Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so I am concentrating on those music right now, because those are the ones that I'm presenting on stage.
Yeah.
And we have to the requests for them are heavy. So I have to be on top of my game to make sure that I present the thing in as rich a format as it deserves to be. You know what I mean? So that is what I'm into right now. There are other things that I'm listening to, like Little Mickey, who did song Freaky, so I'm listening to his music, as his album is just out, and he's a friend of mine, and I'm listening some of the new productions that Ricky Stereo is doing. Okay. So that's where my head is right now, musically. You know what I
Okay.
mean? When this thing is over, then we decide where we're going next. But we're going to be also doing some new recordings in the meantime while we're on this tour between Manu and myself. So you will hear more new stuff coming out between Manu and myself.
Nice.
And the other thing is that is not only from a musical standpoint in terms of the recording of it, but I'm also doing music videos for Masterclass album. So far I've recorded, 2 music videos. We have two more left to do. I mean, on this tour.
Yeah.
And I've recorded some dancehall spontaneous recording with Manu Digital.
Okay.
Yeah, for YouTube and stuff. So we have been doing that kind of a collaboration. So the time is fully booked. So we can't spread it out. I don't have the luxury of spreading it out to listen into a wide other range of projects that
For 10 years after.
Yeah, you're right. So we're putting in the work right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the work.
Cool.
Yeah.
We will waiting for this.
Yeah.
So, Lt Stitchie, thank you so much for taking time for to answer to our question.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
And as we say again, merci beaucoup. It's great being here, and the album is available. Another thing I need to tell you before you go, that this album is available on download digital platform. It is also available on vinyl.
Yeah.
Double vinyl.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do that because I never wanted to lose the sound system agenda. I am a dancehall DJ. I am still a dancehall DJ and will remain a dancehall DJ. But the sound system is very key to me. And they're very rich in what they do. So we wanted them to ensure that they're not into the digital age. They can listen to vinyl and put on them turntable and do the mixes. Yeah. So it's available on a double vinyl. Yeah. 17 tracks on it. And this is the CD. But if you buy the vinyl, you will be able to download free.
Yeah. It's good for selector too.
Yeah. To a sound boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm available to do dub plate. I've been doing several dub plates from the album itself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Thanks again.
Blessings.
Yeah.
See? Masterclass.